Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to Stu's Hobby Box. We are about to see the second model bus that comes from my 1/76 scale model bus collection. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MCW Metrobus in 1/76 scale, also in London Transport livery. If you missed the first model bus video that I did last week, I'll pop a card on screen now. I'll also put the link to that video in the description below. I would ask kindly if you wouldn't mind give this video a thumbs up, as it will give this video a little boost. Also, there's plenty more model buses just like this to come. Give a subscribe and tick the notification bell to be guaranteed to not miss any more future videos. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start with the front of this model bus, and just like last week's model bus video, we're going to start from the bottom and to the top, as this is of course a double decker, and I want to make sure I get all the details. Okay, so coming from the bottom, we can see first of all the registration plate, and the registration number for this model bus is EYE 331V. On this same bumper, we can see two spotlights, bumper spotlights on the side here. Moving up, we can also see the main headlights, high beams. In the middle, we can see this very recognizable and very, I'm sure, very famous and very iconic MCW style front grille. Moving above that, we can see a little sign just before the driver's window. And I believe that says pay here, I believe that says anyway. And then either side of that we can see these two indicator lights. Moving up, we can see the windscreen, the front windscreen, and we can see some windscreen window wipers, which are separately fitted, of course. And then as we look inside the driver's cab, we can't see any blue ticket machines like we did on the Leyland Titan B15 video like we saw last week. And then either side of that we've got two wing mirrors. So we now find ourselves up to the top area of the double decker. This bus is en route 286 to Harrow. Above the destination board we also have the front top of deck window style. Okay, so we're going to move on to the left side of this MCW Metrobus model bus in London Transport livery. And a couple of key features we can see. First, we can see again the double doors, or better known as dual doors. And like on the Leyland Titan, we have the yellow front doors for entrance only, and the middle doors here in red, which are for exit only. Now sometimes, which we might see in the future on these bus videos, sometimes the actual doors will be completely red either side, but it still means the same. Anyway, moving on down the bus, we can also see an indicator just after the front door and the front wheel. Moving back down, we can see this plate area here that does give us a number or a name, which we will get onto later. And then just moving down the bus towards the back, we can see these grills. Now these grills do have a little bit of a texture to them, so I'm going to say they're probably molded into the cast when this model bus was made. Moving on to the top deck, we can see another destination board with number 286. This time it's saying Edgware Station, which I believe is probably a stop on where this bus would be going en route. Above that we can see once again the London Transport or London Bus roundel right there. And then on the top deck we can see the window styling and a bit of the interior, which looks fantastic, of course. We now move on to the back of this MCW Metrobus model bus, where a couple of key features from the top. Of course, we can see the emergency door hatch. Coming down, we can see the route number again, 286. Beside that, on the right side, we can see the registration number again, which again is EYE 331B. Moving down, we can see this rather usual rectangular front back window. And then moving down, we can see the engine cover. Obviously it doesn't open on this model, but it is there. And we can see the brake lights and indicate light clusters right there. We now move on to the right side of this MCW Metrobus model bus in 1/76 scale. And a couple of key features on this side is the etched grille on the top deck there. We can also see the emergency door. The exhaust pipe will be just below that, near the rear wheels. Moving on down the bus, we can see the fuel filler cap. Above that, we can see the London Transport or London Buses round door again. Coming down, we can see the right side window near the driver's seat. And then down below that, we can also see indicators. Okay, so I focused in a little bit more closer to these letters and numbers. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what these letters and numbers actually mean. So if you're watching and you do know what these mean, please put it in the comment section below what they actually represent, because it would be interesting to find out for sure for future, and to be able to update on future videos. So the letter is EW, so on the right side there is EW, and then the letters and numbers on the left side says M331. I'm going to guess that M331 is probably maybe the it's like the running number, so maybe this is bus number 331. I don't know. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. Okay, so this model bus comes from our friends at Corgi, which this bus is actually part of the original omnibus collection. And I have to say they've done an excellent job at recreating the MCW Metrobus in London Transport livery. So the MCW Metrobus is like this in London Transport. As a young boy living in London, I do vaguely remember these. Now, where I was living around the Walthamstow and Lewisham areas, these weren't really seen that much around those parts. And maybe on an off chance that they might have been on a different route, because maybe the irregular bus that did those routes might not have been available. That's probably the only time I would see them. However, I do remember taking a trip to Golders Green, and I do remember seeing a lot of these around that area. So maybe that area would be the best place to see these, but I do remember them. And I do remember having a story which I will let you know in a second. Okay, so I do have a little story to tell you. So when I was young, me and my family used to go to see the English wrestling. It's like a WWE, but on an English side of things. Anyway, it was one night, I believe, in Croydon maybe, and it was late at night, and we just missed our last train back to Walthamstow from Croydon. Now, one of the kind bus drivers who was driving this bus, I guess a night bus, I guess it was at the time, and basically he took us home, and he didn't charge us a single penny for it, which was excellent. So yeah, so it was maybe my one and only time I've ever been on one of these MCW Metrobuses, but it was a great experience nonetheless. Okay, so I'm not so sure if M331, this particular Metrobus MCW, I'm not quite sure if this is a representation of a real life bus that was serving London at the time. So if anyone would know, then obviously put it in the comment section below. I would greatly appreciate to know it. But I do believe that a lot of these MCW buses were actually sent down after being in London down to Birmingham, and that's I'm assuming that's where they ended up pretty much serving for the rest of their years. And I do remember they were modified so to the point where they removed the middle door. So yeah, I do remember that for sure. And that is a wrap for this week's model bus video. So what's your opinions on this MCW Metrobus in the real world and of course in model form? Are you a fan? Did you take trips on this bus? Or maybe you was a driver for these. Maybe you can let us know in the comments what it was like to go on a trip on this, or drive it, of course. It would be really nice to know, and it'd be cool to read as well. So I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. I would ask kindly again if you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up, as it will help this video give it a boost. It'll also there's plenty more model buses just like this in my collection to come. So hitting that subscribe button, tick the notification bell, and be guaranteed to be the first to be notified when they go live on the channel. So until then, stay safe and take care everyone.